The blood of the past never quite wipes clean. Boy, what are you doing? I'm recording. Off with you. Children. God of War tells the story of Kratos once again going on a personal adventure to scatter the ashes of his now dead wife along with his son Atreus, all the while battling the beasts and the demigods of Norse mythology. What's up guys? This video is late as hell, I know, but I'm one of those people that I do not like reviewing video games until I've experienced all that I'm going to experience of the video game. That way I could tell you guys my 100% clear thoughts that will not change after I click that power button. So God of War, I will say right off the bat, is probably the best game of 2018 and is going to have a hard time being beat by anything later to come out in this year of 2018.
Find your way home. You are free.
We're taking our ashes to the highest peak in the realms.
Ashes?
It was our last wish.
Where must we go?
To a realm beyond your own.
Now just for some backstory for me, I've always been a fan of God of War, but I've never been somebody that has been a super fan. I've never thought that this was one of the greatest franchises of all time. I never really got excited over a new God of War game. I always had fun with them. I always thought they were cool hack and slash games. I always thought that they were bloody as hell and fun to play and had some cool story to go along for the most part. But Kratos as a character I've always felt was kind of a weak character, very one note, just this pissed off brute that just kills everything, which is cool to play as, but not really a deep character. And it's never been a franchise where I'll go and play all the side stories. I pretty much just stuck to the main games, God of War 1, 2, and 3. Now you have God of War, which is the new next generation version for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, taking it out of Greek mythology into Norse mythology, introducing this new aspect of having his son as a side character that will battle alongside you. And I'm going here to tell you guys that this game alone has made me appreciate the rest of this franchise and the God of War franchise itself on a brand new level.
Open the door! We need your help!
This is no ordinary illness. The boy's true nature, your true nature, fights within him.
So I'm a man now. Like you?
No. We are not men. We are more than that. The responsibility is far greater.
The depth that they brought to the character of Kratos is probably the biggest positive that I will give to this game. A guy that was just a one-note angry brute is now one of the most conflicted and torn up and deep characters that I've seen in video games in a very long time. Just the way that they get this guy's emotions out through the way that he tells his story and refuses to tell his story at spots. All of the pain and the regret that he has endured for all of the shit that he did in the first 3 games comes through in this, while trying to teach his son how not to be him and how to be better than him. Even the son, the character of Atreus, is a very deep character. This kid who's flawed and conflicted about this past of his family that he does not know about while trying to have his own legacy, and his mother just died. Just so much great, rich character moments in God of War that it's one of the most emotional games that I've played in a very long time. And even story-wise, this game finds a way to be very grounded and simple, of just having a mission of going to the top of the highest mountain in the area that you are in to scatter your wife's ashes. Just that simple little personal journey has so much depth to it, with all the characters and all of the trials and tribulations that come along the way of getting from point A to point B in this game. Phenomenal.
Can you kill something that big?
But even beyond that, the action, the gameplay is so much better than it was ever been in God of War. Now, God of War has never really had a problem with its action. It's never had a problem with its combat. It's always been one of the higher marks in the hack and slash genre. But when you get into God of War, somehow it feels more vicious. It feels more brutal. It feels more personal whenever you're tearing these monsters apart. You get a brand new weapon of the Leviathan axe.
That axe you got, you gotta handle her special.
You know, you'll uncover some other weapons that I'm not going to spoil, because it's cool whenever you get these little reveals throughout the story that really kind of change up the gameplay nice throughout the runtime of the storyline. You get a lot of really awesome boss battles, which is another huge point that God of War has never had a problem with, having these huge epic scale monstrous boss battles. They carry over into here and they're better than they've ever been. So much about the gameplay kept me engaged to the point where when I left the game to go do other shit in my personal life, like, you know, raise my kids, eat food, go to work, I still wanted to go back and play God of War. And this game is monstrous. Like, you could probably blow through the main story of the game in maybe 12 hours or so if you just really stick to the main mission, maybe even less than that. But I'm one of those people that every time a side journey comes up or a branch goes this way or this way throughout the story, I always go do the side stuff as it comes along. I never really stick to the main storyline and only the main storyline and then leave all the extra shit for later. I'm somebody that experiences the entire game, and then the last piece of the story is usually what I try to end on. And I'm telling you, this game was at least 20-something hours of me going off trying to defeat Valkyries, going off trying to do side missions for these dwarves that are doing like your weapon upgrades and everything. Even just that, even just upgrading your character and upgrading your weapons and building and crafting armor and your Leviathan axe and other weapons. Those are aspects that have never been in God of War before, and they're very welcome in this new game. All of those aspects together, you know, the RPG elements, the deep storyline, the difficulty. Let me go stop right there. The difficulty of this game. Do not think you are more of a badass than you actually are, because I'm somebody that I have beat the shit out of some God of War games, and I oftentimes play video games on the hardest difficulty first because I've been playing games for so long that oftentimes that's the difficulty that works for me. I had to stop playing on the hardest difficulty of God of War about a third of the way through the game because I was getting to the point where I was gonna blow a blood vessel. This game is hard as fuck in some aspects, so just a little warning, if you wanna enjoy yourself, maybe start off on one of the lower ends like the normal or just the normal plus difficulty level, and then maybe take on the hard shit after you've kind of experienced the game one time. Just a helpful hint. But like I was saying, all those things added together, the RPG elements, the deep storyline, the character moments, the difficulty, it almost makes this game feel more like a cousin of the Dark Souls and the Bloodborne video games than an actual God of War game. God of War is definitely there, but it feels like such an evolution from what this franchise used to be.
Boy!
And the last couple of frames of this game, as far as the storyline, not only wrapped up the story of this game so beautifully, but it gave some really cool winks to the audiences that's not only a fan of the franchise, but a fan of Norse mythology itself. And it left me on a note of not only some huge satisfaction, but gigantic anticipation for the next game. I cannot wait for God of War 2 to come out. This game has totally made me a God of War fanatic. And with all that being said, guys, I have no negatives for this game. There's nothing that I said could be improved or shouldn't have been in here or they could have done this better. This is a masterpiece in every sense of the word. Not to overhype it, but this game has brought everything that I could have wanted from a God of War game and more. It's made me a fan of this genre like I've never been before, and I'm chomping at the bit for where this is going to go next in the franchise. So if you guys are fans of the God of War franchise, if you like action games, if you like RPG, Norse mythology, any of those things, this is a must buy. Please treat yourself and pick up this game. And as soon as you pick this thing up, go ahead and just call out from work. So what do you guys think of God of War? Is this as awesome to me as it is to you, or do you feel like that this genre is not really your thing? Do you feel like the older games that are a little bit more focused on gameplay and bloody action and not so much story and character death work more for you? Or do you like this new version that they've kind of gone with the character of Kratos and the Norse mythology? Put all of your thoughts on God of War and where you want the next game to go down in the comment section below, guys, and we'll talk about it. Please like and share this video. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. If you guys want to check out some of my social media links, you can check out Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, my Spreadshirt store for Cody Leach merchandise like t-shirts and bags and all kinds of cool shit, and my Patreon page, which is the best way to give back to this channel and help it grow and get cool exclusive content for your eyes only, like the ability to choose topics for videos for me to do, like a review or a top 5, and exclusive access to digital codes for the Blu-rays that I buy every single week. That is all Patreon exclusive, so check that out, guys. And if you want to check out some more of my videos, you can check out a few more by clicking right over here.